Okay, we're here today on realagriculture.com. We are at the NCBA convention in San Antonio. Right now we're with Chuck Maclean. Chuck is the chair of Alberta Beef Producers, or better known as ABP. Welcome today, Chuck.
Thank you, John. Thank you for having me.
Okay, Chuck, let's talk a little bit about ABP. You're representing ABP down here in San Antonio. What is ABP trying to accomplish coming down to a convention like NCBA?
Well, I mean, we try to keep the people in Alberta informed as to the different discussions that are going on between the different states and provinces. And we have met the last day and a half that we've been here, and probably another day, with different state organizations, and California and Texas for a couple. And we look to find out the things that we have common ground on, and things that we can talk about that affect both of us. And then we have things like cool that we try to find people that understand the circumstances of cool and things like that, and find out if there's any common ground for those things.
Yeah, so that's something I've talked to a lot of people about, is cool well down here, of course. Yeah. And there's definitely, from NCBA's perspective, it seems like there's not a real warm feeling towards cool. They see some of the impact it's had on Mexico and Canada.
Yeah, and I mean, it's had impact on themselves as well. I mean, it's probably not cost effective for them, and I don't think that they are getting the result from cool that they expected. And having said that, it has cost the retailers quite a bit of money for segregation, and so the logistics of having the product run through the packers and through the different retailers has not been really well.
So when you're meeting with some of your colleagues in the U.S., you mentioned California and Texas. What is the reception that you get in terms of Canadian beef, Alberta beef?
Canadian beef and Alberta beef?
Yeah, like, do they have I found a very warm reception here, being from Canada.
Yeah, okay, I mean, yeah, that's right. I mean, most of the people that we are in the room with are livestock people, so, I mean, they're kind of producer-to-producer type meetings, which in a kind of a friendly setting, and I mean, people tend to be more forthcoming at those kind. They're not as guarded as maybe they would be if they were where there was a lot of media.
Yeah.
You know, so we get some fairly frank discussions going there.
Good.
And you know, I mean, there might not be any visual outcome when we leave the room, but we also know who to phone tomorrow morning if you need to get a hold of somebody to find out what's actually going on that the media happen to report on.
Yep.
So I mean, I just think it works good for everybody.
Okay,
you know?
good.
And it's a long ways to come. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you know, and so, you know, not everybody, unless you know, these kinds of reports are really good to get the news back. That, I mean, we actually are spending some hours here, you know, like these are meetings, and I mean, some of them take a while.
Yeah. So in terms of, from an ABP perspective, moving some things back home, lots of talk about the checkoff dollars and stuff like that. What's kind of the outlook there? Is there an expectation from ABP's standpoint as how this is all going to shake out?
Well, I mean, we really don't have any idea how. I mean, what we've actually done is went into a defensive type mode. I mean, we've already got our funding for next year already put in place. So we wait to find out exactly how it turns out, and we're looking at it positively. I mean, if we do what the producers feel they need to be done, I mean, and there'll always be criticism. It doesn't matter what you do, and criticism is not all that bad if it's constructive. You know? So I mean, we hope to have people leave their funds. I mean, and you know, because it's not just our checkoff; it's a national checkoff as well. I mean, we actually our industry supports CBEF and BIC and CCA and a lot of those funds that get probably go to 8 or 9 to 1, you know, with the matching funds, and without them, they lose a lot of things that would get done normally. They're not going to get done. And when they talk about whether you market beef in Japan or Korea, I mean, it takes a lot of money to be in these places.
Yeah. You
know, and so our checkoff, when it got refundable, it wasn't just us that are affected. I mean, because out of that $3, we didn't get it all anyways.
Yeah.
A dollar of it was going to national.
Well, if you look at from an NCBA perspective, the infrastructure and the things that they're doing right from producer-oriented things right to proper ways to cook beef and slice it and how to handle it. It's a big industry, and it requires a lot of dollars.
You know, when you listen, we were at the opening remarks for these people, and you would think we were in Alberta. I mean, their issues are exactly the same as us, and they articulate them in exactly the same manner. I mean, they have exactly what we have, trade issues. I mean, how do we get into Japan, and how do we get into Korea, and what do we do when we get there, and is our product safe, and is it nutritious, and is it value priced, and I mean, every one of those things are the same things that we have.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar.
Okay, Chuck, well, thank you very, very much for joining us today, and good luck at the convention.
Well, thank you for having us. Appreciate it.